Hey everyone, it's the Angry Honey Badger, and today we're taking a look at Garen. This is actually right after, or at least a week after, the freshly new, not really a remake, because he's got all the same stuff, but just with a lot of changes to Garen. We got, all types of stuff, really. They just moved some stuff around, they changed his scaling of his attack damage into late game, and all types of stuff. So, I thought I'd make a new build video for him to showcase that, and give you my thoughts and kind of my impressions on the little bit of a rework for Garen. So, taking him in the top lane, as I usually do, started with Boots and Pots at level 1. Depending on who I have top, I'll either start with Boots and Pots, or if it's a heavy AD character, I will start with Armor and Pots. Here I'm actually going to get dove by Shaco after that gank and die to him. He already has a handful of kills. Their team is going to get incredibly ahead early in this game, but we're going to go ahead and rally this game anyways and win it. So, since I died and I'm back at base, I decided to buy some magic resist to deal with the Singed, who I have top. So I got my boots, and I got some magic resist. I will be building those into Merc treads. Usually I would be building other boots, but I build the boots that usually counter whoever I'm against in top lane. It's a smart way to negate some damage, and you know, having that extra tenacity is never a bad thing either with Singed is slow. So that's what I'm going to do with that. So, at level 1, I do take Garen's Q ability, which would be Decisive Strike. That's what silences the enemy. It also speeds you up when you activate it, which is also nice. So you get that extra movement speed so you can get to them, silence them, and do some decent damage. It does some decent damage, at least to say the most, really. After that, I do then take Judgment, which is his spin. And, you know, spin to win, really, with Garen. That's what we do. So, usually what you want to do is silence him like that and start spinning all over him. Now I'm going to ignite him, and he's going to die to that ignite. So I'm going to pick up a nice little easy kill right there. But typically, you start that off by, you know, doing your Decisive Strike and then Judgment. And you just spin all over him and you do that massive damage. Now, depending on who you're playing against in top lane, and depending on how good they are at evading you or how close they're letting you get to them, whether or not they're ranged, you can either level up your Decisive Strike first all the way or your Judgment. It comes down to a personal call. If you're only being able to get to them to silence them, then I level that up first. It just kind of depends. But if they keep letting me not only silence them and then keep spinning on them if they can't move out of the way fast enough, then I'll level up my Judgment first. So it kind of comes down to a personal preference and how you're dealing your damage to the enemy that you're up against. So just kind of keep that in mind. Obviously, you can take 1 point in Courage early too, which is your shield. I sometimes don't. I don't think I have this game because I'm not too worried about the damage from the Singed as much. And then obviously at level 6, I did take the Mossy Injustice, which is the sword from the sky, which comes down, rains hell, and you lose all your life. So, sword from the sky. It's going to happen many times in this game. So, as you can see, every time I have a chance to poke at Singed, I definitely take advantage of it, silencing him so he can't really flip me or do too much, and then spinning on him and then usually spinning away. You do ignore unit collision when you do have your spin up and going. You do move a little slower, but nonetheless, that is negating any movement from you or from them, really, so you can get around nice, quick, and easy. Here, I'm going to be moving back in towards him. We're going to try to kill him real quick with a quick silence. I flashed over to him too, spin, get the ignite off while you're spinning, and then drop the hammer, or the sword, you know. Sounds good to say both, really. But, yeah, gonna keep picking up kills on him. He's actually gonna be building, like, glass cannon Singed. He's not gonna be putting as much health down as he should. Last time I went back, I did buy my boots, and I did buy a health crystal. Here, I'm gonna wait just a split second and pick up some health regen. I should have picked up a ward as well, but Shaco is negating on coming to the top lane, because I'm gonna be a little harder to kill than the bottom lane and the middle lane, who he is continuously killing. So, I'm going to keep farming up, because Garen is a great farmer. You can just spin really all your minions after you level that up if you really want to push hard. Other than that, you know, last hit him and poke him. But you don't really have any problem farming as him. There's some other tactics you can learn with Garen. If you have Teemo top who can be poking at you, you can go hide in your bushes, and Teemo won't be seeing you, and then you can always run out and silence him if you get close enough, and then spin on his face and kill him that way. So you can kind of play some weird tactics with him because of your silence. It is a long one, and it is very, very helpful. And it's up off a rather short cooldown because Garen's abilities do not cost him anything. It's just all based on time. So, spin all over the minions, get tons of CS as Garen, as you usually do. Be able to stay in lane with Garen for a very long time because of your passive, which is totally awesome. A percentage of your health is returned to you as health regen after you haven't taken damage for 8 seconds. So yeah, you're able to stay in lane. You'll see the green little flurries around me, like such as right now, which gives me the increased health regen. You're able to stay in lane for a while. If you get poked on, you can always just stand back a little bit and regroup. Here I'm going to jump in, silence him, start spinning on him. I'll get the ignite off and drop the hammer, or not, because he flashed. And sometimes you'll feel like you get that off, and he is, let's put it this way, he's playing greedy, because I have flash up, and I still have my ult, which would easily kill him right now. So I'm just going to lay low, jump in here, and now do it. Flash, and just drop that real quick. And we actually just picked up an ace, which is going to be really nice. I'm going to go ahead and take the tower in one go here, because I can, and kill the minions while I do that as well. Alright, so let's go over the runes as we can. And for runes, typically I go with the armor penetration marks, I go with armor seals, magic resist per level glyphs, and attack damage quintessences. It's kind of a nice a range of things. You get the armor, which is going to be good all the time. That armor is nice. The magic resist per level is always a good thing to have, just here a little bit more tanky. You can do the armor penetration marks, which are really good, obviously, while you're spinning, and for everything else that Garen does, except for his ultimate, which is magic damage. Keep that in mind. But other than that, it's kind of a good setup. It's nice for the most part. Sometimes I will run crit runes for my marks. It can be effective as well. It's just kind of personal preference. I run crit runes a lot more than some people like to. But I tell you what, early game crits hurt people a lot. And it's something to keep in mind, really. Here I'm going to be moving towards mid. They seem to be getting pushed. I'm actually going to get caught out by like half their team, and somehow I'm just going to run around in circles and run away from them. So, yeah, it was nice. They do find Hoyt and kill Hoyt here, though, which Hoyt jumped back into him, so, I mean, you're going to die when you do that. And I think we're going to lose a couple other people right here. But they're pretty organized this game for the most part, and they had that really good start. Shaco, I mean, he had 9 kills, it seemed like, in the first 10 minutes. He was ganking constantly with Shaco. They had a pretty good Shaco player, but then his build kind of started going the wrong way, and I think he kind of falls off. Anyways, the last time I did go back to base, I know I kind of glanced right over it. I did get my Warmogs. Now, I used to not typically build Warmogs immediately on Garen, but the new way he's suited, you can do it. You could do it last time too, but now it really does work fine. Building the Warmogs first, and then my other items I'm going to get are definitely going to help. Here I'm going to run over to the Singed, and I'm going to flash in, silence him, start my spin, get my Ignite on, and then drop the sword from the sky. With a Warmogs, I'm 11, what am I, level 13, 11, what am I? Can't tell, the number's tiny. Anyways, with Garen with the Warmogs, you can tower dive quite easily. You have plenty of health, you can pop up your courage, which will take reduced damage. Here I'm going to pick up an assist on Shaco. Then we're going to chase down this Tark. I think I'm going to run after him. We're going to pick up an assist on him, and I'm going to tower dive again. Now, I wish we were able to get to her. Can't quite. I'm going to start spin, just do some damage to her. But those towers, I mean, yeah, they hurt, but not that much. So I have effectively one item. So Garen is a really good tank / off tank. He's a tank that does plenty of damage and yet isn't really specifically a tank, but he's great at taking the damage because he gets tanky naturally and with the damage that he does. So not going to have any kind of problem with any kind of tanking, really. So, and we'll be going towards more of that later in the game. Now here, going to move back in. Ryze is going to die. I'm going to silence the Fizz, start to spin all over him, and then I think Nocturne's going to zap back at him and get the kill underneath the tower. Yes, I'm going to tank it too. Boom. So we'll pick up another assist on that real quick too. So I don't really lose much life, and with the Warmog's health regen and with all the health that it gives me towards my passive, I can stay in lane for a long time. I have plenty of health regen, so no problems. We're going to go rapid speed up for a few parts of this game because it's, you know, necessary. Anyways, going to be running in here. Shaco starts to chase me. He's not really doing any damage to me, which is fine. I'm going to spin. He actually jumped through the bush there to try to get to Ryze. I can see him, though, because Ryze has an Oracle. I'm going to silence him and drop the hammer. I know it's a sword, okay? I like saying drop the hammer, okay? Complain about it in the comment section. But anyways, gonna start spinning again because that's the thing to do. It's Garen. Come on. And yeah, it's time to try to help Hoyt now, but it's not looking good because Caitlyn got fed early too, which is never a good thing. And I'm gonna actually run the other way to not only confuse them a little bit, but to allow me to get away and Hoyt to get away. So last time I was back at base, I did pick up some. I picked up some armor. And I picked up some crit chance because we built the Atmas. Just picked it up right there, which is going to take a percentage of my health and convert it into attack damage, which is going to make my decisive strike better. My judgment is going to be a lot better. I'm going to be tankier because I got armor now, and I got more crit chance. Never a bad thing ever. And there was the failed surrender vote by my team. The Ashe and the Ryze wanted to do it because they are horrible. I'm calling it now. They were not good. But, you know, that's fine. I got 2 other friends in here, so we're going to carry. Here we're going to get into a fight. We lock down the Caitlyn. She's going to have to flash out here. We're going to jump back in and focus the fishy dude. Fizz, nonetheless. And I'm going to move in and try to tank this and do as much damage as I can. I do drop the sword down on Caitlyn, and we pick up the ace, I think? No, Singe is top lane, doing God knows what, not helping his team. Building like a glass cannon and not like a tank. So, we're going to go ahead and push while I tank that tower for no reason because we had minions. And, yeah, we're going to keep pushing forward there. He shows up, but that's fine. We're going to go ahead and retreat back because we can. Got plenty of gold to go spend. I'm going to go buy my next items. Now, with my masteries page for Garen, I usually go with the 2190. It's good offensive stuff to get in the top lane, and I get a little bit of defense as well. Now, if you want to go more defensive with Garen and go more full tank, that's fine too. You can do some of that as well. Just go with the 9210. And you're going to be a little bit more tanky, which will be nice for you. Typically, now depending on boots, like I said, I like to counter build my boots. I did go with Merc Treads this game because of the ability to have that tenacity is very, very helpful. So, that's why I went with it. Typically, in a perfect world, I'd get Boots 3, I'd get Boots of Swiftness, because obviously his speed with spinning and with your Decisive Strike, you run even faster. So, there's another thing too, do not forget that you can use Decisive Strike on turrets and on all types of stuff to fight. You'll do the extra damage. Here I'm going to try to move in, start my spin, try to do some damage to who I can. Get flipped out for a second. I'm going to silence this Singed, or actually I missed, I think I can get a minion, but ignite him. Drop my sword down. He's going to die to the ignite. I'm going to pick up the kill there. Now, I'm the only one in my in their base now, so I got to find a way to get out of here tricky. I'm going to use my flash technique out of their wall and be all sped up by using Decisive Strike. Now, apart from Decisive Strike, obviously speeding you up and being able to run to someone quick to silence them, you can use Decisive Strike quite easily to get away from people. Activate it and run. It speeds you up. Why not use it as a defensive tool if you need to run away from people? I do that plenty of times in lane against people if I'm getting chased. Pop that up, pop your shield up, run to safety. It's a good way to get away. Do not forget that you can do that. Not everything is always defensively that you think it is. Not everything is offensively like you think it is. A lot of people use flash to get away. I use it to initiate because it's fun and they don't see it coming. So, don't forget, think can be used in both ways. Just something to remember. Here we're getting separated, which is not good. It's going to result in some deaths by our team. Hoyt gets killed. We need to regroup. I did not mention the few things last time I went back. I did buy a Hexy Drinker, and I have a pickaxe. I'm going to be building towards the Maw of Malmortius. It's going to be a good item for Garen, not only because they do have a handful of magic damage, which I would like to resist, and that shield that pops up from it is never a bad thing. There comes the Ash Arrow in on the Caitlyn. I'm trying to move, but I'm all slow, and then I get slowed again because that's a stupid shark. I'm going to pick up the kill on Caitlyn, though, and then start to chase. Hoyt's jumping in there. I'm trying to chase best I can. Silence him, spin, maybe get an assist, I'm guessing. Yep, going to shut him down, which is going to be good. And, that's going to help us push back. Now, during this moment of silence, since we killed a couple of them, I'm going to go ahead and initiate on Baron, and we're going to go ahead and take this Baron. As you notice, the 3 people taking Baron are the 3 people playing the game together right now, not the other people who are just doing what. But that's going to happen. Nonetheless, though, I'm going to go back to base, the Maw finish off, and I'm building an item that I typically would build a little bit sooner. If I would have started and have it an even better game. Although I did die once in this game. I died early, and that's all. I'm legendary constantly now. I just killed Shaco. But if you can sport it early and you're doing the damage because you want to and you're not worried about the damage you're taking. And this game I really wasn't doing too bad either. I'd build this earlier, but I'm going to start it now. I'm actually building towards the Brutalizer. It's going to give me that cooldown reduction, the armor penetration, and that more damage, which is always a good thing. It's time to retreat now. We just got into a bit of a shuffle in their base, taking stuff out, killing them. Tons of health regen right now because of Baron, because of the Warmog's armor, all that good stuff, and the passive. So here we're going to run in behind Caitlyn. She's overextended, and they don't have wards apparently in the river, so she didn't see us down by Dragon when we took that. I'm going to run over to her silencer and start to spin, and I think I'm going to pick up the kill right before she can get through that wall, which is unfortunate for her. She almost got away. Well, when I say almost got away, she almost got away 5 more feet so I could chase her and kill her. So, gonna go back to base, finish off the Brutalizer. I'm gonna be building that into the Ghost Blade, which is gonna give me, all of that goodness, the damage, some crit. I can then activate it for the increased movement speed and attack speed, which is always a good thing too on Garen. You can activate that, activate your Q, and just run at them like crazy, and just do tons of damage. But as for the whole Garen rework and fixing him, making him a little bit more viable late game as a champion, giving him that increased damage. Here's me testing out how much damage she's doing. Yep, that's right. Just seeing if it hurt. It didn't. You know, I like it. The rework works. I don't think it's really overpowered. I can still kill him fine when other kids play him if you focus him correctly, but not actually focus him above other targets and priorities. I like the rework a lot, and I'm enjoying it so far. I'll put the rest of the build, guys, in the description. Other than that, if you guys found this helpful in any way, or if you liked the video, if you liked it and sub, that'd be awesome. I'd appreciate it. Leave a comment as well if you have any questions. But other than that, I'll just see all of you in the next build video.